it is time to say goodbye. So I thought I would just take it out for a little last ride here today. Beautiful day. And it's going to be picked up a little bit later.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we grew.
There's no doubt that this is a much more comfortable bike. I haven't been on it for a couple of months, and I've just been riding the ZX6R, and yeah, as soon as I got on this thing, it just felt like a couch. I feel like I'm sitting way more upright, even though I put some aftermarket clip-ons on that are a bit lower. Every little bump doesn't really bother me a ton. This is a pretty uneven road right here, but it's not bad at all. The sounds that this bike makes, it's not too bad. I mean, it's a parallel twin, so it's gonna have more of that lower grunt and rumble compared to an inline 4. Obviously, doesn't rev as high. This one red lines at 8,500, whereas my ZX6R red lines at 16,000. So just about double the RPM to reach the red line of an actual super sport bike. I mean, I do want to acknowledge that they're wildly different bikes. They shouldn't really be compared, but I have been very happy with this as my first bike, because it will still get you fairly quickly from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. I don't know, I never really measured it exactly, but I'm sure you could do it in 5-6 seconds, something like that, depending on how great your launch is. And on the highway, you could theoretically get to 180, 185 kilometers per hour, which is more than enough for highways over here. Maybe you would like a little bit more speed on the German Autobahn with the de-restricted zones, but yeah, for roads over here, 500cc is more than enough to get you in trouble. The pops on the downshifts, those are nice. Now this thing will get going. Have no doubt about that. You're just gonna have to shift a little earlier, and it's gonna top out a little bit earlier as well. Alright, here it is in all its glory. It's been a good bike. Nice exhaust, extremely clean bike. Cool little decals on the wheels. 2013 CBR500R. See, even with these aftermarket clip-ons, your hands are still pretty high compared to a 600cc. These are about, I don't know, 1 or 2 inches lower than stock. So it is a very comfortable bike. But yeah, it's been a nice last little ride. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more in the future, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I guess there's going to be a little bit of comparison in a video like this. It's hard not to compare the different bikes, and I will say, as a new rider, this has been a phenomenal bike. Good amount of power, very manageable, still room to have a lot of fun, and even some people would say that this is a big bike for a beginner, a 500cc, and I think there's a lot of nuances to it, because we're all so different. So it really depends on your skill level, your maturity level, how comfortable you are on a bike. You know your own capabilities. But I think overall, it's just a safer bet to start on a smaller bike, and you can always upgrade. You're going to learn a lot from riding a smaller bike. I feel the same way about cars. Because I started out, my first car had 60 horsepower. So you learn how to push that and get the most out of it. But if you start with a massive engine, you're not really going to learn in the same way, in my opinion. But yeah, overall, been a great bike. Be sure to follow along for more. And I'll see you in the next one. The Honda CBR500R is officially gone. It was picked up, got itself a new home with an owner who's had multiple CBRs. So it couldn't be in better hands now. So that means my last ride that I did a couple days ago was on that 500cc. So this is a fun little comparison between a 600 and that 500. That other bike is amazing for just cruising, taking it easy, very comfortable, upright seating position, all that. But man, do I love this bike. I'm the type of person who would also rather have a, let's say, a sporty daily car rather than necessarily a comfortable one, because I just like the experience of it. And I think a lot of people out there can agree with that sentiment, if you will. But there's a reason why I got this bike. Despite it being less comfortable, you don't buy a 600cc for it to be comfortable. That would be silly.